Hi, I'm Callie and welcome to Kapowski Reads, and this is my low spend year wrap up. I did it! On 27th of December 23, I decided I was going to do a low spend year for a year. I set out with the goal of reducing my stash, my physical TBR, kind of using up things so that I had less clutter. I had identified 4 main areas where I needed to really cut down. They were books, toiletries, makeup, skincare, clothes, which was a surprise to me because I just thought I didn't really buy that many clothes. I did. And household items, like non-essential household items, like little gadgets that I didn't use. And as none of those areas were really essential, I decided that I would just not buy anything from those areas for a year. There were exceptions though, so I was allowed to replace things, like if I ran out of shampoo, I could buy shampoo. This wasn't intended to be a punishment or anything, so I didn't want it to be like mean. It was just a way of me using things, reading books before I decide I no longer enjoy that genre, that kind of thing, not letting my money go to waste. For books, I had 2 kind of loopholes, if you will, which were books that I pre-ordered before my low spend year had started. I was allowed them. They were decisions made by me of the past. And books for book club, if I could not get that book from the library or from a friend, I was allowed to get that book so that I could participate in book club because I love book club. I'm just utterly delighted to say that I have now finished my year. I didn't think I would do it. I thought I would try, but I don't know, it's just kind of nice to achieve something. And I know it's so silly and like so privileged to be like, yeah, I'm happy I didn't buy a bunch of stuff. Like, I chose not to buy a bunch of stuff. And I know that comes from a place of privilege. But I also come from a place of not knowing I was going to be able to replace things. And so I have that mindset of I have to have multiple backups in case I can't afford to get backups. It's taken me most of the year to sort of get out of that like scarcity, like fear. So that's like a great thing that's come out of this for me. So let's just chat about how I did. So for my main goal of using stuff up, I feel I've barely made a dent in my stashes. Like my physical TBR, I read 70 books from my physical TBR. Not all of those books made it to the bookshelves. A lot of them have been on hold because I didn't love them, and I only keep the books if I love them. That's my rule. Like 4 stars and up, you get to stay on the shelf. Although some of my Scottish books are not 4 stars and up and I need to go through them, but that's a different matter. When it comes to bringing books into my world, I had 9 new books that I bought. I did receive gifts of other books, but I'm only counting the books that I bought myself. They were 8 pre-orders and 1 book club book. They fit very nicely onto a graphic. That was very pleasing. My goal was to get my TBR, my physical TBR, down to 1 shelf. I'm not there yet. I'd love to be there, but I'm just not. I made a huge dent in my toiletries and my sort of beauty skincare items. I had a huge box, which I've now gone through. I am on my last moisturizer, like my last body moisturizer. I didn't think I would use, what was it, 9 moisturizers in a year, but here I am, like a greased up eel. I also was very, very lucky at Christmas where I received gorgeous gifts of consumables. We've been trying to get this going for years of like, we don't need anything, but if you have to give us something, let it be something that gets used up. So my loved ones gave me a lot of like toiletry items. So I feel like my stash has gone down and then has gone back up, but I think that's okay because I will use these things. And I feel I barely made a dent in my makeup stash, but what I did learn is that makeup goes off. I've had many. An old foundation either turn orange. I'm very pale. I get like the palest foundation that has a red or pink undertone because I'm very pink. But some of my foundations were like orange, far too dark for me. And some were like cakey and dry. Some of my lipsticks were again cakey and dry. So let that be a note to me of the past. Like, you should use your things because they will go off. They don't just stay suspended in time until you want to go and use them. And now that's like wasted money that I could have used for something else. I had what I would consider to be 3 moments of failure during my low spend year, which were, if you've been around for a while, I will call it the Urban Decay splurge of April. I had a bad day, a very, very bad day. And I ended up being drawn like a moth to a flame into Boots, and I bought some makeup. I did not need that makeup. I have worn that makeup more than any other makeup this year, but I didn't need it, and I should have just been strong, but I was weak and I bought it. So that's failure number 1. Failure number 2, I actually think with hindsight isn't a failure. I bought bras. I bought 4 bras because I panicked. I found a lump and was like, oh no. I panicked. Long story short, my bras were too small and the wire was digging in and causing like a little lump. So I had to buy new bras that were 2 cup sizes bigger than all of my other bras. That's expensive. So I had to buy them. And I hadn't included underwear in my exceptions. So that was a fail. But it kind of wasn't, but it was. And fail 3, I bought new slippers and a candle, but I actually think that that's okay because my existing slippers had holes in them and fell off when I was on the stairs. Usually I'm on the stairs holding a cat. I don't want that to be how I go out of this world, falling downstairs from slippers that fall off while holding a cat. So I think that's okay. They were a replacement. And candles, I'd run out of candles. I never thought that day would come. We're back to the stage where I have more candles because Christmas has been. But that's kind of okay, but it feels wrong. Let's chat about money now, because that's kind of, when I watch these videos, I'm like, ooh, how much did you spend? How much did you save? Let's chat money. On the books that I bought myself, my 8 pre-orders and my 1 book club book, I spent a total of £111.43. I lost my piece of paper with how much I spent in 2023. So I don't know how much less I spent this year than the year before, but I know it's quite a whack. On makeup, like not replacements. I forgot that word. Not replacements. On restricted makeup, I have my 2 items, which are these. This is the most gorgeous Moondust Urban Decay palette. It is gorgeous and shimmery and I love it. Space Cowboy, which has been my favourite eyeshadow since about 2009. I'm wearing it now. I have been using it, but it's like barely gone down because this lasts. These 2 items cost me £59.10. I'm including the 10 pence that I paid for the carrier bag that I didn't actually need. It was a paper bag. Saving money was a lower priority for me, but I'm Scottish and I grew up poor. So it's always nice to save money. And it's nice to have a little safety net so that you feel that little bit of things could be okay. I have a buffer. I absolutely shocked by the amount that I saved. I saved a total of £7,843.19 over the spell of my low spend year. For context, that is like a third of my take home pay. Like my post-tax national insurance, student loan, pension, a third of my take-home pay has been put aside for a rainy day for emergencies. And for me, that kind of gives me a little bit of a sense of relief. Like I don't have a safety net. Like I am my own safety net. And it's kind of a little bit of a weight off of my shoulders having that extra finance there should I need it. Like our oven's about to pack up. I'm gonna have to dip into the savings at some point, but it's kind of nice. I kind of want to cry. I am a saver though. I normally would have saved throughout the year, but I've never saved more than like 5,000 in a year. And like, I know it sounds really silly, but like, I'm really proud of myself. So what's next? I've already been chatting to my friends about this. It's no surprise. I'm doing it again. I'm doing another low spend year. I kind of want to make this like a lifestyle rather than a challenge, if you will. I really want to focus again on using up the things that I have, which when you say that, it sounds ridiculous because of course you should use the things that you already have. But here I am with stashes of things. I want to use things. Again, my dream to one day just have like a little shelf, maybe be able to physically hold all of my physical unread books. And then if I read them, I can get more books, but not buying books, not reading them. And then when I want to read them, I'm like, oh, who bought this? Me, I did. So here are my rules for my 2025 low spend year. I'm going to start this on the 1st of January. Because why did I start on the 27th of December? What a weird date to pick. Everybody's rules will be different if you do a low spend or anything like that. You have to make it work with your own life. For me, I live in a household with my partner. I have stepkids. There are things that are not going to be restricted because they impact more than just me. And this is my little thing. So here are my very well considered rules, taking into account what I learned over the last year. I'm not buying any new physical books. I have 2 exceptions here. If Anna Dorn or Mona Awad release new books, I can get them. That's it. If for some bizarre reason I finish every single physical book that I own, I'm going to be like, let's just do a year. With those 2 exceptions, Mona Awad, Anna Dorn. I don't even know if either of those authors are working on something right now, but exception noted, locked in. No new clothes. I don't need new clothes. There are exceptions here, which are, I'm not restricting underwear because sometimes boobs grow and you need to get new bras. I'm not restricting like pants because I did in 2024, and the amount of pairs of underwear I had to put in the bin because they were full of holes is upwards of 5. Long story short, I bought new underwear at the end of 2023 and went, you don't need to buy any more next year, and I lost the bag with those, and I only found that bag when we were wrapping Christmas presents. So I'd been holy pants for months, and now I have nice pants. You don't need to know I have nice pants, but I do. They're from Marks and Spencer's. Tights are allowed, like we're not talking pattern tights, like, you know, snag tights has a hold on me. I'm talking basic tights. I made 2 pairs of extremely holy, this is the theme for my 2024, is making holy things last. So many pairs of tights have so many holes because they're so old. I'm allowed to replace those. I only have 1 pair of nude tights. It's full of holes. 1 pair of white tights, which I live in winter, full of holes because they're old. I'm allowed to, you know, use common sense there. No toiletries or makeup or skincare. I've got loads. If I finish something, I can replace it, but I'm going with a 1 in, 1 out system, with the exception of if it is a thing that I know I use X amount of in a year and it's on a really good deal. I'm talking SPF, face moisturizer. The ones I tend to use very often are on like a 3 for 2 deal. If I know that I go through 7 moisturizers in a year and I've run out of one, but it's on a 3 for 2 offer, I can buy the 3 because I'm getting 1 for free. I actually spent, I didn't mention that earlier, I did log how many of each item I used each month, tallied it up over the year. So I know I won't cheat myself because I know how many I have used previously. But if I finish a lipstick, for example, I'm not going to buy a new lipstick. I have many more lipsticks. So little exception there. No non-essential house things. Like there's a Joseph vegetable chopper I've got my heart on. I don't need it. I don't have space for it. No little house knickknacks that I don't need. This also includes like Christmas decorations. I didn't buy any Christmas decorations this year, which if you know me, you know is a huge thing. But because my friends and family know me, I was gifted many, many quirky decorations, which made my heart very happy. Bills, travel, existing subscriptions, food, including eating out, takeaways with the kids, health, so like supplements, medicine, if I need new glasses. I never wear my glasses, but I might. They're all allowed. I'm not restricting anything there because these things impact other people other than myself. If I need a book club book, same rules as before, where if I can't get it from the library, can't borrow it, I can get it. But I'm going to try and get secondhand first. Gifts don't count. This is such a controversial rule. If I receive like a gift voucher or money, that's a gift. I'm allowed to use that money to buy myself a gift. I know some people think like it's not, but I have had people who give me money be like, why are you not using it for a gift? Don't just put it in a savings account and look at it. Treat yourself. That's what it's for. So I'm going to allow myself, if I'm lucky enough to get any gifts like that, I can buy myself a little treat. It's a gift from the person who gave me the money / voucher. And I believe that's all of my exceptions. I'm probably thinking I'm probably missing something huge, but I hope I'm not. I want to spend 2025 using more things that I have in my house, enjoying the things I already have. I'd love to start using some of the yarn stash that I have, but I think I'm wishing for too much here. That's my goal. I would love to end 2025 with a little bit more shelf space, a little less drawers filled with stuff, and finally reading more of the books that I loved enough to buy, just not enough to read. And if I manage to save the same amount of money next year, that would be amazing. And yeah, I'm gonna do it again, and I'm really excited. I feel I learned a lot last year that can kind of help make next year better. Okay, I'm gonna go. I can hear the bin lorry is making its way down my street because it's bin day. So I'm gonna finish now. If you've ever done a low spend year or are thinking about one, let me know in the comments. If you've done one, let me know how you got on. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!